Victoria Falls, one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. Laying claim to the largest sheet of falling water in the world, these magnificent waterfalls are on pretty much every traveler's bucket list, including mine. But there are a couple of things I really wish I'd known before visiting that would have made my experience a lot smoother. Join me as I share my experience as well as everything you need to know about visiting Victoria Falls. My journey starts here, in the town of Kasane in Botswana. I've spent the last 2 weeks on safari in Botswana. I've seen some incredible things, but I'm not yet ready to leave this magnificent continent, certainly not without seeing the nearby Victoria Falls. But before we leave Botswana, there's still one last attraction that I'm keen to check out. We've arrived in Kasane, just had some lunch, and now we're heading down to the jetty to go on our afternoon Chobe River boat cruise. I'm so excited. The Chobe River marks Botswana's northern border with Namibia. This means that everything on the other side of this river is Namibia. The river borders Kasane town before meandering into Chobe National Park. The river is a lifeline for an abundance of species as it flows year-round. Birds in particular love it here. It isn't long before we see just how many birds are here. We spot geese, several types of herons, and a jacana. But birds aren't the only residents here. We are right by a crocodile. We've just pulled up and he is very big and very close, and I swear he's looking right at me. I'm not gonna lie, my heart was beating pretty quickly here. We were so close that if I'd reached my arm out, I would have touched him. Thankfully, he seemed much more interested in sunbathing than approaching us. As we're admiring the huge Nile crocodile, a smaller reptile emerges. This is a water monitor lizard. Whilst it may look no threat to the crocodile, water monitors love to feast on eggs, including crocodile eggs. And so his presence could alarm the crocodile. We watch for a while, but the water monitor lizard decides to avoid trouble and slink away. And so we move on. As we cruise down the river, deeper into Chobe National Park, we come across a group of buffaloes. These guys are all old males. Our guide says that this island in the middle of the river is a retirement home for them. With no predators other than crocodiles, which they can easily avoid, they can see out the rest of their lives in peace. I can see why they selected this place. It's so peaceful and beautiful here. Further down the river, we stumble upon 2 huge hippos outside the water. I'm always in awe of how massive they are when I see them out the water like this. They're certainly a little intimidating. Resting near the hippos is another Nile crocodile, this one even bigger than the last. And our guide is clearly fearless as he takes us far closer than I would ever dream of. The deeper we go into Chobe National Park, the more wildlife we encounter. It's quite incredible to see such a diverse range of animals on the riverbank. I had no idea that my favourite sighting of the afternoon was right around the corner. Elephants, crossing the river right in front of us. I have never seen them in the water like this, and it's simply magical to watch them. Evening is not far off, and so we start to make our way back to Kasane. Our Chobe River boat cruise has been a lovely way to see Botswana's wildlife from a different vantage point. It's also so incredibly relaxing being on the water. This was without a doubt the perfect way to end our time in Botswana. This scenic river cruise is the penultimate part of my multi-day Botswana safari. I can confidently say that my safari in Botswana has been my best ever safari to date. We have seen so many incredible wildlife sightings and made memories that will last a lifetime. I have my incredible safari guide to thank for this. If you're planning your own safari in Botswana, including Victoria Falls, click the link in the video description and pin comment. Here you can get quotes from the exact same tour operators that I used to organise my trip and who I absolutely recommend. After our cruise, we make our way to our lodge in Kasane for the night. We're staying at Riverview Lodge, which is conveniently located right on the Chobe riverfront. We have a lovely modern spacious bedroom and a nice big bathroom. It's the perfect place to spend our final night in Botswana and relax before an extremely exciting day. We're up bright and early the next day and enjoy some wonderful breakfast. But as we eat in the sun, I quickly realise we're not alone. Before long, we're on the road, journeying to the border with Zimbabwe, which is a mere 10-minute drive away. Okay, so the first part of the border crossing is complete. We've checked out Botswana and now we're just going to drive to the Zimbabwe side, which is about a few minutes drive. And then we've got to fill in our visas, get a visa on arrival. Yeah, let's see how that goes. This was a quick process. There was a bit of a line. We are here at like 9:30 and then the queue's getting bigger as the minutes pass by. So I would recommend going earlier to avoid the queues because I feel like the queue's going to be a bit bigger on the Zimbabwe side because we have to apply for our visas. Okay, part 2 is complete. We have just checked into Zimbabwe. Now it took a little bit of time because there was quite a queue of people, but when we actually got to the front, it was pretty quick for our passports to get stamped and our visa issued to us. Just had to fill a little bit of paperwork in, come prepared with your pens ready. And yeah, now it's time to drive to Victoria Falls. I am so excited. Something else to note is that the visa on arrival was cash only. Although there was a sign saying they accepted card payments, in reality they didn't. So be sure to have $50 per person to purchase your visa. The drive from the Zimbabwe border to Victoria Falls takes around an hour. It's incredibly scenic, taking us through Zambezi National Park, where the wildlife is never far away. These elephants are chilling right by the main road. It's not long until we reach the entrance to Victoria Falls. So we have entered Victoria Falls National Park, which is the national park from the Zimbabwe side of the falls. It was a $50 entrance fee per person. So for the two of us it cost $100. And it's a little map which shows where to go. So we're going to follow the directions, which take you down like a well done path to see all the different parts of the falls. I'm pretty excited. Already here at the entrance I can hear the falls thundering in the distance, so I can only imagine how loud that will be up close. So this is the start of the trail. Then we have got another fall behind me. It's called Devil's Cataract. And it's separate from the main falls. And the first one was steep on the trail near the statue of Livingstone. Wow. This is amazing. The second viewpoint is even more incredible than the first, allowing us our first peek at the main gorge.
This is viewpoint number 2. And I don't think we've seen the main falls yet, but wow, I am completely blown away by this.
By the time we reach the third viewpoint, the main falls are really starting to show. And with every viewpoint we reach after that, the views just get better and better. Viewpoints 5 and 6 in particular took my breath away, giving me my favourite view of the falls. I'm visiting Victoria Falls in June, where the falls are very full. At other times of the year, there isn't as much water cascading into the gorge, and at some times of year, parts of the falls dry up completely. This is something to bear in mind when planning your trip to Victoria Falls. The trail between each viewpoint leads us through beautiful rainforest, which is home to some cheeky monkeys and baboons. Definitely don't leave any of your belongings unattended, as these guys will do anything to find food.
Viewpoint number 10, and we've got a lot of spray here. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but I'm getting rained on quite significantly. It feels nice and refreshing though.
By the time we reach viewpoint 10, we're right in the thick of the falls, and our view is largely obscured by mist. The time of year that you visit the falls will have a huge impact on what each viewpoint will be like. At times of year where there isn't as much water, the view here will be clearer, although there won't be as much water to see.
And here we have a wonderful view of Victoria Falls. We're here just after the wet season, so it is now June and the falls are pretty full. And one of the downsides of coming at this time of year is you can get a lot of spray, but I've not really found it hindering my experience too much because we've seen so much. And if you come in the drier seasons, the falls aren't anywhere near as full as this. So pros and cons to each time we go. So this is viewpoint number 12, and this is by far the wettest viewpoint. It is like practically tipping it down. I can't even see you right now because the camera's completely covered and you can see the spots on the camera obscuring the view. Yeah. Oh, what a mix go. Oh my god, it's so bad. On to the next viewpoint. You don't know if you can see quite how wet I am. But yeah, it took a bit of a splashing back there.
The next few viewpoints are all largely obscured by mist. This is the one downside of visiting the falls whilst they're at their fullest. I can imagine in a month or two that these viewpoints would be clear and provide a wonderful panorama of the falls.
On to the next viewpoint. Spray is very high here. And we are being rained on quite significantly. But it's beautiful still. Quite a fun experience. Yeah. Start to see them poking through a bit.
We're making our way to Danger Point, which is viewpoint 15 and the final view of the falls. This is when having a waterproof coat or poncho is really necessary, as it felt like I was under a shower.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Maybe I did bring a poncho, but I haven't put it on. My camera's wet. My camera's got me wet. Oh man. I feel like I've taken a swim. I am soaked. I'm absolutely soaked. Okay, so we finally put our ponchos on because it is absolutely soaking here. And we've also got rain covers specifically for our cameras too, so they don't get to be wet. Oh wow, this is falls and I am getting soaked here, but isn't it, this view. Oh my goodness, it is so
The gorge marks the border between Zimbabwe and Zambia. Everything on the other side of this gorge, including the rest of the falls, is in Zambia. This bridge is the main road to Zambia. It also doubles up as a bungee jumping station, but I'm not quite feeling brave enough to do that today. So that was Victorian Falls from the Zimbabwe side. It takes around 2.5 hours to conduct the walk and to really stop and see the falls from every single viewpoint. Yeah, definitely worth it. It's super impressive, and although some of the views were obstructed by spray, I would definitely recommend it this time of year because to see that much water going over is pretty spectacular. It's now time to leave Victoria Falls and continue our journey to Zambia. Okay, so we've crossed the border now from Zimbabwe into Zambia, so that's our final border crossing of the day. It was really straightforward, but we had a guy here helping us and was able to fast track us through immigration, so it took about 10 minutes. If you're a UK British citizen, you don't need a visa to enter Zambia, so that makes the process a lot smoother. So yeah, we just got our passport stamped and here we are in Zambia. Whilst you can also visit the falls from the Zambia side, we were feeling pretty whacked and so decided to spend the last hours of the day unwinding at our gorgeous hotel on the Zambezi River. We have got the nice bed here, a TV, a little table, which we've already messed up. Bedside tables out here. We have a nice view of the Zambezi River. We have tea and coffee facilities. Yay! Some cute little ornaments. Look, tea and milk, that is great. Bed. We have fridge, before we put something in there. Then we have space for clothes. And we have dressing gowns. I feel like one person's been forgotten about, but then in here we have got the bathroom. We've got our nice sink, toilet, little bossy washer there, and then a really big, nice shower. On our way to dinner, we are treated to an absolutely spectacular sunset. Just in front of us is the mighty Zambezi River, which looks particularly magical in this beautiful pink light. It is our final sunset here in Southern Africa, first time around in Zambia. Feels sad. It's the end of an era, but it's been one hell of a trip, hey?
So we've got ribs, mashed potato, and what was the
Fruit like vegetable called like itwa or something.
Yeah, Zambian vegetable.
Yes, mashed potatoes, biggest T-bone steak I've ever seen, and rape, which is another local vegetable.
Brilliant.
We came to the room and we have a little chocolate. Ooh, our favourites. The following day, we leave Livingston on perhaps the smallest plane I have ever taken, starting our long journey back to the UK. And with that, our 3-week Southern Africa adventure comes to a close. As we embark on our journey, I have some time to reflect on the weeks we have just had. I can confidently say that our Botswana safari was the best safari of my life so far. If you want to see my best ever wildlife sightings in Botswana, watch this video next. Trust me, it's a wild one.